Pop culture is more than just entertainment. It's a lens into society, relationships, and human behavior. I'm Grace, and here on the Grace Report, we dive into stories beyond the headlines. Whether it's reality TV drama, celebrity scandals, or royal family intrigue, I'm here to break it all down. What it means, why it matters, and how it reflects the world we live in. Join the conversation, share your take, and let's make sense of the culture shaping our lives one story at a time. Good morning, guys. Good morning, sunshine. Listen, let me first start off by wishing you guys a very, very happy Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving to all of my American friends and watchers. Thank y'all so much for being here during your holiday. I really don't know what happened, you guys. I just, out of the blue, like just before going live, I just got hit with like the worst cramps. Just everywhere, like 360 cramps, you guys. Oh my goodness. I really do not know where it's coming from. So sorry about that. I did warm up a heating pad. So I'm gonna try to see how far I can make it through today's morning report, especially because listen, I know a lot of you guys are either getting ready to cook and whatnot to celebrate the holidays, maybe you want some company, or maybe you're skipping the Thanksgiving holidays and you want some company. So I'm really trying to tough it out and get through this. And on top of that, I got some really, really good stories lined up for today's show that I really wanted to discuss with you guys as well. So again, happy Thanksgiving to all of you who are celebrating today. I can't wait to hear about what it is that you guys are eating, who you're celebrating with, all that good stuff. I'm so sad that it's not possible to share photos in the live chat because I would have loved to see photos of you guys' dishes. Listen, so today on the morning report, we're going to be talking about 90 Day Fiance star Chuck's passing. He was the father to Elizabeth, who's married to Andrei on the show. They're one of the OG couples. They weren't on the first season, but they were in the early seasons of 90 Day Fiance. Kail Lowry also shared on her Coffee Convos podcast that she's really devastated. She's now, for the first time in her life, taking a step back and looking at the fact that she's got 7 kids by 4 different baby daddies and what that means as far as broken homes are concerned. It was a very, very authentic and vulnerable episode of the podcast that I wanted to get into with you guys. Real Housewives of Orange County psycho Kelly Dodd threatened her daughter via voice note or voicemail, and her daughter Jolie is exposing it all, and it's actually really disgusting. And lastly, we're going to talk about Gypsy Rose and why she's wearing all of these wigs. Okay, again, you guys, I really don't know how long I could do the show for today. I'm really hoping to stay as long as possible for our holiday special, but shoot, maybe I just took some Advil. I have my compress, and I'm trying to see how far I can go. Anyway, thank y'all so much for joining us. We've got Cami here in the show. We've got Gala, Jamie, Ona. Oh my God, Ona. Ona's an OG, but I haven't seen you in a while, Ona. Nice to see you back. Hey, Tadisha. Good morning. Good morning, Tamara. Good morning, Ronnie, as well. I'm a manager of a grocery store, so I am at work this morning for about 2 more hours and homebound to finish what my husband is starting for me. Love it. Listen, Jamie, I wish, but remember, I celebrated Thanksgiving a couple of weeks ago because one of my friends is in Thailand, and so we couldn't celebrate during the American Thanksgiving date. Good morning, Dime Peas. Nice to see you. So when we celebrated together, we ate a whole lot of turkey, stuffing, cranberry sauce, all that stuff. But today I'm just not. For lunch, I went to a Korean fried chicken spot, so that was good. Maybe that's what's killing me. I really don't know, you guys. But thank you so much. Oh my goodness gracious. I'm really looking forward to getting into today's stories with you guys because again, they are some really, really, really juicy stories that we've got. Okay. So Again, good morning to everybody. Hey, Winnie, and thanks so much. And hi, Venetia. Nice to see you, boo. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Hey, Two Snaps. Hey, Abby. Hey, Ramel. Ramel, happy belated birthday. Oh my God, you're 27 years old. Wow. You know, I'm so happy to hear about your B-Day, actually, because I was just wondering, like, when are we going to get to sing the birthday song again? It has been so long. Where is the birthday song? Jeez. All right. So can you guys please help me wish our Romel, who's another OG of the channel, a happy birthday. Romel just turned 27 years old. So let me go ahead and pull up your birthday song, Romel. Happy belated birthday. How cool to have a Thanksgiving B-Day.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday to you.
And it's so nice of you guys. But I feel like I'm going to be in pain regardless, whether I'm chatting with you guys or whether I'm just like lying around. And I feel like at least chatting with you guys is a good distraction. So I really would prefer, I would really love to and prefer to be chatting with you guys to get my mind off of all of this. Oh, Lord have mercy. And we do have a super chat. Thank you so much, LaRonda. That's so nice of you. Thank you so much for your holiday super chat. And I hope you're having a happy Thanksgiving wherever you are. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, you guys, why don't we start off with our first story, shall we? I'm still so saddened by this story concerning the passing of Chuck from 90 Day Fiance. Again, he was the father of Elizabeth, the father-in-law of Andrei, and he just seemed like such a good dad. He really, really did. You know, I feel like just seeing that kind of representation on the show and whatnot, or on TV in general, is super duper important, and he was able to provide that. So I really loved him. And, you know, I'm so sad for his entire family. They were all so close to him. I just know that they're all absolutely devastated. Elizabeth is actually currently threatening to sue People magazine for a story that they ran about the passing of Chuck, which, mind you, I don't know why she's so upset about the story. I thought that it was a very sweet story. They just shared that he had passed away and talked about some of the reactions or some of the feelings of his family members who lost him and whatnot, and she's really upset about that story. But listen, I published a story as well about his passing when I got the news, and we had nothing but nice things to say about him, just like People magazine and the comment section as well. In fact, today I was responding to a lot of comments that I got in the section of that video, and everybody just said the same thing. He seemed like such a lovely, loving father, and the news is devastating, like F cancer, all that stuff. You know, I hope she knows that she is very, very well supported. So anyway, Andrei did make a video to pay tribute to his late father-in-law that I wanted to share with you guys. So let me go ahead, pull it up. We'll chat about it on the flip side. Okay, here goes.
Hey everyone, this is a tough one to make, but first I want to just honor a man who meant a lot to our family. Chuck, my father-in-law, who many of you knew from our TV series, has passed away a couple of weeks ago. And it's been incredibly tough for us. Now, I know there's been drama, tensions and storylines over the years, but what people saw on TV is just a tiny portion of our real relationship we had. What I can say is Chuck genuinely loved filming. He loved the energy, he loved the excitement, he really did. The connection of all of us. He loved people in general. You know, some of my best memories are just off camera when we're laughing and talking and joking about how we are fighting on TV while we're in real life getting along, and so just like best pals. And this is how I'm gonna remember him. And I want to make this clear, that all the rumors and the clickbait going around right now are just lies. When it comes to what actually happened, I'll speak about it later in a respectful way. For now, I just want to honor him, Chuck, and there's a lot more to say to this, and I will share it later about his life, about our real connection, and the truth behind everything. But I'll get to that in the extra post. Rest in peace, Jack.
Straight from Andrei's mouth. I thought it was really sweet that he was able to share some of his favorite memories with the late Chuck Hast. I know that their relationship wasn't always the best, right? Like it was very contentious at certain moments and whatnot. But, overall, Chuck, I think, loved Andrei, and I think that Andrei loved Chuck as well. Chuck was just a protective father to his daughter, and he had a right to be, right, with Andrei, who was out there constantly needing money, right? And Chuck would invest, and we saw him invest in a home in Moldova for Andrei to launch his own real estate company, similar to what Chuck launched in the United States. But that money seemed to have been squandered and whatnot, right? So it's nice to know that despite all of the fighting and whatnot that we saw on the show, behind the scenes, there were touching moments between the two of them, and that there is an appreciation from Andrei towards Chuck as well. So that was a really beautiful thing to see. And by the way, speaking of beautiful things to see, thank y'all so much for the birthday wishes for our dear Romel. Romel, I hope you have a great time celebrating your big day. So I have to go back and read that People article to find out why it is that they're so upset about it. But what I'm gathering is that maybe People magazine might have attributed some quotes from inside sources in regards to reactions to Chuck's passing that maybe were not true. It seems as though Elizabeth and Andrei say that they're not true. So I'm gonna have to go back and take a closer look and see what exactly what it is that wound up pissing them off, because I've been reading People magazines forever, for decades, right? And I always saw them as a reliable source and a very respectful source as well. They're not like really salacious. They always try to truly like validate and get like direct quotes from the people that they talk about. So I'm quite surprised by this reaction. And wow, cornbread stuffing sounds absolutely delicious. SOS. Oh, Lord have mercy. Am I jealous? Listen, y'all, please keep telling me what you're making for Thanksgiving, because it is making my mouth water. I don't know what I'm having for dinner. I was thinking of having a quiche Lorraine. But this Thanksgiving stuff sounds too damn good. Here in Paris, if you're ever here like over Thanksgiving or something like that, whether it's Canadian Thanksgiving or American Thanksgiving, they do offer like Thanksgiving menus. Like you can go to a restaurant, depending on the restaurant, right? And ask for a Thanksgiving special, and they'll get you the turkey with the stuffing, with the sides and all that stuff, right? So just an FYI, you guys, okay? Ramel says, praying for the family. I don't watch the show or know the people, but it's definitely sad losing a loved one. That's why we have to appreciate every single day we wake up. Amen to that. We are so lucky every single day we wake up, every single day we leave our homes, come back in one piece, all that stuff. Truly, truly. So, and it's just something that we do all the time, right? Go to sleep, wake up, leave your house, come back, to the point where we forget how lucky we are. Truly, truly lucky. And speaking of that, I wanted to say something. I don't want to say too much because I'm not aware of all the details, but I did hear that there was a tragedy that struck you guys in America yesterday, where somebody shot some policemen. Very, very, very sad. Hang on, let me take a look. I have to remember exactly. Soldiers, I believe, but it was just so sad. I was talking about this over lunch. I said, I can't imagine, those people, they left home to go, and 2 National Guard members, sorry. So National Guard members were shot yesterday in Washington. And so just the idea that they're out there just doing their job like anybody else, and boom, somebody, a crazy deluded person could come and just do something like that to them out of the blue. It's really shocking. So again, like, you just really never know, and it's so every single moment is just such a blessing. And I really hope that they turn out okay. That story just really truly shocked me, and I feel terribly for their friends, family, loved ones, all that stuff. Because again, today's Thanksgiving. This happened yesterday. I imagine everybody, they had Thanksgiving plans or something like that, and just. To go from that, all the excitement and the planning and all that stuff, to being in the hospital or all that, it's absolutely devastating. But he says, I don't even understand why people are saying mean things. He did a lot for his kids and he seemed like a great dad. Exactly. I'm so surprised because, in my comment section, I have not seen a single bad word about him. And in the People magazine article, they seemed really positive about him as well. So I'm really curious, like, what other people are saying. Carly says he seemed to try to support all of his kids. He really did. And the kids fighting was something that truly, truly devastated him. By the way, you guys, I feel healed. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Thank you, universe. I feel good again. Thank God. I was like in a cold sweat. Oh my God. Au bout de ma vie, genre, at the end of my rope, but I feel good now. Thank God. Thank you guys for keeping me company. I swear. Anytime I'm feeling like sad or like pain or what, you know what I mean? Like just chatting with you guys is the best distraction, and it makes it all go away. So thank you. You guys are miracle workers. TM says, I get being nosy, but we don't need all the details, just whatever they want to share. Exactly. And I felt like the message that Andrei just shared was already good enough. Like we really do not need to know any more than that. Right. And I saw that Libby had been sharing some of her childhood photos with her father, her sister as well, like that type of stuff. It is sad how invasive the press can be and the public can be. But I totally respect what it is that they want to share and don't want to share, because at the end of the day, this was their father. And although we loved him on the show and everything, like he didn't belong to us the way that he belonged to them. And just let them have something for themselves, I feel like. Abby says, I finished my 2 cheesy loaves, yummy rolls and cookies this morning. Oh, Lord have mercy. Y'all, this looks so damn good. You guys can throw down in the kitchen, can't you? I love it. Good morning, Amelia Bedelia. Nice to see you. And thank you, Winnie. Yes, they were National Guardsmen. The story was just so shocking to me. I really did not expect to read anything of the sort yesterday. Again, you just can't stop thinking about how excited and happy those people must have been preparing for the holidays the next day, just to have tragedy strike this way for literally no reason. And yes, happy Thanksgiving, you guys. And thanks so much for sharing all the things that you're doing to celebrate your big day. And hey, wait a minute. What happened to my border? I'm festive over here. Let me put up my little festive Thanksgiving border. We're celebrating Thanksgiving over here. Listen, y'all know I love me some Thanksgiving dinner. I love it. It's been crazy here. They shouldn't even have been there. It's just so sad how risky everything is, right? And I'm so sorry, Jamie. Jamie's in a fight, so no food for me. Look, girl, what do you mean no food for me? Get yourself dressed up, go to a nice restaurant, and treat yourself to a dinner for one. Or you know what? Maybe you cook something and you eat it in front of his face. And make sure it has like a really good, like big smell, and you don't share anything with him. Like a pecan pie, like something. Do something nice for yourself, boo. They're still alive, thankfully. Pray for them. Amen. I heard they're alive but in critical condition, and so I really, really hope that they're able to pull through. It's awful. The National Guard shootings, we are hurting here. I swear, it's just I can't. It's just bad news after bad news, shock after shock, and enough is enough at a certain point. Princess says turkey done. Ham is currently turkey and ham. Oh Lord. In the oven. Broccoli, collard greens in the crock pot. Plantains and guava tart are done now for the crucian stuffing, while we wait on my aunt to come with the pasta salad and mac and cheese. Princess, girl, what is this? This is incredible. Can I ask what your background is? Because some of this food sounds just wow. I've never heard of it being put in like a Thanksgiving dinner. I love guava, by the way. I like to get a guava puree, like a jelly, and put it in my Greek yogurt. Oh, heaven on earth. That sounds so good. Dawn says, Thanksgiving morning back in my hometown. Shout out to you, boo. I'm glad you're back in the hometown. There's something so special, right? About going back home for the holidays. I have to be honest with you guys. I haven't gone back home for the holidays in like pushing 6 years now. It's just not, listen, Thanksgiving to me is not big enough to go back to like Canada from France. Okay. And then Christmas, but here's the thing. I don't like snow. And I don't like freezing temperatures. So that's why I don't go back. So I don't, but they're just, I imagine something like, so special about going back home for the holidays. And thank you so much, Tamara, Callie, and everybody else. Honestly, y'all made me feel so much better so quickly. I feel like I would still be struggling if I wasn't here with you guys. Carly says, I'm excited for the new 90 Day folks coming up in December. Me too. We really needed a new batch of people, and their stories look really, really fun and exciting. Now, you guys, I want to get into Kail Lowry's story. Kail Lowry actually quite surprised me in this week's episode of the Coffee Convos. I haven't really been able to recap too much of the Coffee Convos podcast just because she and Lindsay haven't really been talking about things that are all too personal and exciting. They'll talk about the kids and this and that, but nothing personal to them as grown women, right? And that's typically what I like to report on here on my show. But in today's episode, they started off the usual, right? Talking a lot about the kids, what they've got going on. Kail's kids are really, really like sporty. So she talked a lot about sports, jerseys, cleats, all that stuff, right? So I was like, okay, don't care. Skip. And then about, let's say 30 minutes into the episode, she starts talking about, and you know what I think it is? I think it's the holidays that make her feel this way, right? Because I know that she doesn't keep the kids for Christmas holidays. I don't know how she divides the 7 kids during Thanksgiving holidays. But I know that for Christmas, she's child-free. I don't know if she's going to do that with Elijah's kids, but I don't know. That's so I imagine that something's going on in the holiday world for her with, you know, her kids, the assorted baby daddies and whatnot, that has her in her feels. And so she just started talking about how she was recently just thinking like, damn, like, how did I end up here? Like with 4 baby daddies, like, why would I go and create 4 broken homes? Like the regret and all that stuff. Obviously she doesn't regret her children. However, she says personally that she regrets creating 4 broken homes. So let me go ahead and play the podcast for y'all so you can see what I mean, okay? And I'm really looking forward to talking about this with you guys. So if you're watching live, please go ahead and leave your comments in the live chat. I'll be putting them up and bookmarking them for discussion later. If you're part of the Playback Posse, feel free to leave your thoughts in the comment section and I'll chat with you over there, okay? So let's go ahead and get to listening.
Time. Mm-hmm. And I sat here and literally has been on my mind for the past, I would say like a week or so, maybe like 2 weeks, is that you and someone else that I know, they sort of like, we'll call it learned the first time. Mm-hmm. And I sat here and literally created 4 broken homes. And that's been something that I've been struggling with for the past like week or 2 weeks. Cause I'm like, in a different way, like obviously I've always known that I have 4 baby dads, right? Like that's something that we can't ignore, but I never looked at it in a way that's like, I created this. It's like, I did that. I didn't learn the first time, the second time, the third time, or the 4th time.
Do you feel like, I already know the answer to this, but I have to ask, would you do it any differently if you could go back and redo it?
Well, see, that is a hard question to answer because I don't regret my children. Yep. I don't regret any of them. I don't regret having 7 of them. I don't regret any of them in any way, shape, or form. I think the only way for me to answer this in the way that I hope comes out the way that I mean it is that I had no business having any children with Chris and truly no business having any children with Elijah either. So I think that at the point that I was married and divorced and then got pregnant right away, I had no business doing that. Like I should have waited until I knew that I was in a secure relationship, got married again if I wanted to do that, and then continue to have children. Like I almost cannot believe that I did this. Does that make sense? It's like, I don't know.
It makes so much sense. And I think I very much understand what you're saying when you say you don't regret any of your kids, but you might regret certain situations.
Yeah. Like I made my life harder, their life harder. But I think during that time, like I just wanted a family and I just wanted to be loved and I wanted to be a wife and I wanted to be all of those things. And I think I was living in this, like, I was like over romanticizing the Chris situation. And then I do think that maybe the situation with Elijah would have turned out differently if certain things didn't occur. But I've been really thinking about that. It's like, but I also look back and I'm like, but I got married and divorced. And then I was in a relationship where someone was saying something to me and then didn't follow through. So was it like the both of us fucked up, not just me or just him?
So I actually just had a conversation with Kristen on the Southern Tea about this. And if I had to do it all over again, I think I would have definitely given myself time post-divorce to really like truly heal the parts of me that needed to be healed from being married.
Agreed.
And I think that when you become a wife, that changes a lot of things. And I'm not saying I was the best wife. I'm not saying he was the best husband, but I think that just changed my mindset on a lot of things, just like the way that I thought about stuff as a wife. So then when I got into other relationships, it's almost like you want to be a wife so bad again that you're almost overlooking some of the red flags and you're trying to like make it fit and make it work.
Yeah. Because
the desire is to like have that consistency back, to, you know, be in that role of a wife. And you just can't move on too fast. And I think that that's probably a little bit of what happened to you. I think that you saw potential in somebody. And then I've said, if Kail has sex one time, she has a kid. So,
fucked up.
I mean, people, and I hope that I'm allowed to say this, but like Kail has 7 kids, and I think she literally had sex like 6 times to get them.
I just think that's so fun. Like, people really think I'm a whore, and I'm like, no, these are like most of the people I slept with.
You know what I mean? Like, it's so crazy. I feel like you have to be ovulating at least 30 days out of the week. 30 days out of the month.
Imagine.
And every single time that I've known that you have gotten with somebody, I immediately know you're getting pregnant.
Well, not anymore. I have to go do the work now.
Kristen said you just got souvenirs. Like,
I wish that the kid was immaculate conception, actually. But the craziest part of it all is I had secondary infertility after Lincoln was born, which is the whole reason why I got surgery and everything else. It's so frustrating. Was like,
wait, you got surgery?
Well, I had the mommy makeover because
mommy makeover, yeah.
Shout out to Dr. Amobi. He looked at me dead in the face and was like, Kail, there are people in their 40s trying to get pregnant for their first time, and you have 2 healthy children, 2 healthy boys. Like, if you don't get pregnant, like, basically be happy with what you got. And at that time, I was like, yeah, you're fucking right. Like, you're right. And I listened to him, and I got this. He didn't tell me to go get the surgery, but he was basically like, be happy with what you have. And I respected him then. I still respect him for saying it. But how do I go from secondary infertility, back-to-back miscarriages, to 5 more children?
You know what? I don't know.
How does that happen? I didn't even want kids, Lindsay.
No, I know, which is the wildest thing. Somebody did not want kids that just had 7. Like, what?
7 plus the fucking baby.
And like, I wanted to have a baby so bad. Like, it was a childhood dream. Like,
to be a mom.
I used to be a mom. Like, I wanted to be a mom and a waitress. Like, I don't know why I wanted to be a waitress, but
waitress.
Like, that was going to be my life. And I wanted to have a little boy, and I had him,
So there you go, you guys. There is more, and I'll get into some of the other stuff that she said. I'm not yet sure if I'm gonna like play the rest of the clip or if I'll just tell you what she said in recap fashion. But again, and I think it was Carly who said something similar too, which is it's a very honest reflection at the end of the day. Like, was it smart what she did? Not really, right? And I feel like she was a grown woman when she decided to do this time and time again. So there's this whole, I wanted love, I that. Like, I don't really buy that as an excuse, to be honest with you guys. And in fact, I wonder, like, is it the love of the man or is it the love of the kids that you're talking about wanting, and maybe feeling like, okay, as my kids get older and more independent, I feel less loved or needed by them. And so I need to, go make some new ones. Because when it comes to Elijah, she didn't know him. Right. Lindsay was saying, oh, Kail, it's okay. Like, you were idealizing situations and whatnot. That doesn't apply to Elijah necessarily, because Kail has admitted that was a one-night stand. Like, she moved into her place. She saw her neighbor, decided she wanted to bone her neighbor raw, and she got knocked up. Like, I think that the way that they're kind of downplaying some of these decisions that she purposely made as a grown-ass woman, is a little bit disingenuous, to be quite honest with you guys. Kail also does say, she hinted at it in the clip that I played for you, but later on she does say that she would have preferred to have her children with donors so that she doesn't have the broken homes that they are currently dealing with right now. In fact, I think actually I want to continue to play it so you guys can hear it in her own words, because it does hit harder. And I do agree, Acacia. I do think that that's why she's thinking about this right now, particularly because, at the time of filming or taping, the holidays were coming up. And so she's in the process. And let me go pull up this family tree. Guys, I spent a really long time on this, okay, this family tree, because I had gone and I had tried to get it done. Like, I was trying to figure out, where can I get this family tree done, right? So I had to do it on Canva. So the holidays are coming up, right? And when you've got 7 kids, by 4 different baby daddies, and you're like, this is like a truly familial holiday, and you don't even know if you're going to have all your kids with you for this familial holiday because you decided to have them with every Tom, Dick, and Harry that you met. It's harsh, and it's hard to think about, Again, she doesn't have the kids for Christmas typically, right? So just the idea that you've got all these kids, and here comes another really big familial holiday, and you're finding yourself all alone, like, that's something that has to be absolutely, truly, truly, truly devastating. Like, just thinking about it is really shocking and devastating to me personally. So I can only, imagine what she's really feeling as she goes through this, for the however many year in a row. And by the way, sorry, Winnie, I attributed your comment to Carly, but it was your comment that this is an honest and fair reflection. You know, I find it to be very, very, very refreshing to hear this kind of conversation from Kail. But again, I would have liked to hear her take a little bit more responsibility because like Princess says, you could wrap it up. You could take plan B. These kids and these pregnancies did not happen by accident. As much as she wants us to believe that that's the case, she knows how this stuff works. You know, there's condoms, there's birth control, there's plan B, there's other things. There's so many ways to avoid putting your children in this kind of situation, right? So again, I would like to hear her take more responsibility and stop using such passive language when it comes to her intentional decision to have kids with all these people. You know, like with Joe, okay, teenager excuse, I get it. With Javi, you were married. You thought that that was going to last. Sure. But then when it came to Chris, you knew he had a harem of women, you know, and then on top of that, you had a restraining order against him. Y'all broke up a million times over and you still got pregnant a second time. That's a little bit, you know, insane. And then when it comes to Elijah, there you go again, raw dogging everybody. You find a neighbor, you decide, oh, let's do this with no condoms, no nothing. And you get pregnant. Like, that's absolutely insane. She was well into her 30s. She had already had like multiple kids prior. She knew how kids were made, and she still made that decision to go ahead with that. You know, knowing she already had other kids that had already gone through so much with all of these random, like, you know, temporary stepfathers and all these new kids and all this just mess that she created. Right? Hey, Jaleesa, how are you, boo? Are you off today? I hope so. So it's sad, but you know, again, I do applaud her for taking responsibility. So let's go ahead and continue to hear what else it is that she had to say about the situation that she's currently finding herself in.
Wanted him so badly. And then to hear somebody say, I didn't even want kids and then had 7.
No, but I love it here. Like, I don't know what I would like to think about my life as an empty nester stresses me out because what would I be doing with my life without my children?
I mean, at this point, I don't know, and I couldn't even imagine it. So I'm not even going to try to guess like hypotheticals of what you would be doing. But back to what you were saying. So you feel a sense of guilt for creating those situations and then not being together with any of them.
Like, this is going to sound fucked up. Like, if I could have all of my children by a donor, like the same exact children, because I love having all my, like, I don't regret any of them. I don't regret how many of them. I don't regret any of it. It's stressful, chaotic, and all of the things, but I literally thrive in it. I don't know. I just wish that I didn't create, because if it was a donor, for example, there would be no broken homes, right? Like, they wouldn't know any different other than my home. So I just feel like in that way, like, that makes sense. But like, I actually created like literal broken homes. Not once, not twice, not 3 times, but literally 4 times.
Do you feel like you have a hard time sharing them?
Yes. Like, and what's fucked up about that is it's also nuanced, right? Like, now that I have Lincoln, Lux, and Creed virtually full-time, okay? Like, we're mostly full-time. There are some, you know, like this coming weekend, I don't have any of my kids. And so like, that is a break that I desperately need, but it's also not enough because it literally ends up being, I want to say like 36 hours of child-free time.
I have a really hard time, and it's not necessarily sharing. It's like last night, this is the text that I sent Will. I said, I can't sleep without him in this house. I'm probably going to have to get medicated or something. I've been worried all day.
Like, worried about Jackson?
Yeah, like my anxiety when he's not at this house, like on my days, I know he's fine and I know he's well taken care of and I know that I have to share. But I very much just struggle with the idea of, okay, now he's with him for the next 2 days and I'm not going to see him and I can't sleep without him in the house.
I know more people than ever are feeling like their money is.
And then there's an ad here, but there's just, as she talks about how she doesn't necessarily love when the kids go off with their dad, she doesn't have a good time with sharing. You know, the first thing I thought about was, well, that's something that we always saw from the very beginning, right? Even in her relationship with Joe, as Joe was fighting for more time with Isaac and whatnot, that was something that Kail was heavily against. In fact, she even moved Isaac to a different state before waiting for a judge's permission and against Joe's wishes and everything. And, you know, wanted to move further when Joe moved states and moved close to her and more importantly, his son. We all knew that already, but it is nice to see her finally admit to it, because when the baby daddies would accuse her of this is something that she would very vehemently deny over the years and whatnot, right? So I don't know, just the idea of doing this with donors and stuff, I don't know that that makes it any better or not. And I'm really curious to know what you guys' opinions are. She says, okay, I created all these broken homes, but if I had the kids with donors, then that wouldn't have been the case. I think that even kids conceived with donors and whatnot, I think that they still do have their own kind of complexes and battles. Like they might be curious about like who this mystery donor is, and have questions about that as well, or to have like emotional feelings or issues or whatever tied to that as well. I really don't think that there is a perfect solution as far as these situations go, to be quite honest with you guys. And so later on in the episode, she also does say that some of the kids are not happy going to their dad's house, and it's something that's stressing her out. She also says that 50-50 does not work for kids as they get older. She wants an open door policy / more flexibility when it comes to the older kids. For example, Isaac. She wants for Isaac to be able to come and go from her place, Joe's place, as he pleases. But Joe is not very happy with that. So this is something that we've known for a while, and we've talked about for a while, which is that there's a lot of animosity right now in the relationship between Joe and Kail. There have been a lot of hinting that it might have something to do with Isaac and his coming out and whatnot. We know that Joe was not happy that that was something that Kail decided to monetize and sensationalize on the internet. And so his concerns with that in particular have been sort of twisted to make it seem as though he has a problem with his son being gay. And so I do think that that has caused some serious tensions with them in the co-parenting front. And I think that it might be something that has rubbed off onto Isaac and has made Isaac kind of almost distance himself or have a colder relationship with his father as well. And so that's something that's a little bit concerning. And you see her kind of hint about this in the podcast from time to time. Hey, Misty, nice to see you, boo. And I saw one of my girls, she was here for like 15 minutes. I think it was Angie. Is it Angie who said she's like popping in really quickly? Yes, it is. Hey, Angie, thanks for popping in. Happy Thanksgiving. And by the way, this comment made me laugh so hard because I said, Kail, this is what happens when you have kids with every Tom, Dick, and Harry. And T says, no, Tom, Dick, and Harry is 3. She had kids with Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. That made me laugh so freaking hard. Well, it's true, though. It's true. This doesn't happen by accident, and just that's what it feels like. This conversation is trying to make it seem like, oh, this happened by accident. I see the error in my ways. No, this is something that happened, due to, and in my opinion, you not taking your therapy seriously. She's constantly talking about, oh, I'm in therapy, I'm this, I'm that, like 7 years in. Where are the results, baby girl? Where are the results? This is just, anyway. And so there's something else, and I think this might be what is also weighing on her heavily. She started talking about Lincoln in particular and how she would cry if Lincoln told her that he wants to live with Javi. And this is something that she has talked about on the podcast in earlier years. I remember an episode a year or two ago where she talked about how Lincoln is so much closer to Javi. He's very much like, he wants his guy time. Javi's very like sporty. He's like a coach and all this stuff at the time for him. And now that Javi has left the state to go and live in Virginia Beach, I believe it is, they have a sort of sharing policy for months at a time with him. And I believe that Javi, when he crashed out on Kail in his Instagram live, he did say at a certain point that I believe it was next year, a judge would be asking Lincoln personally which home he would prefer to stay in for the majority of his time, because the current arrangement that they have is an arrangement in which Kail gets him for the majority of the time. But according to Javi, next year, there will be a discussion about that in court again. And this time it's going to be Lincoln who has to say out of his own mouth where he would prefer to spend the bulk of his time. And it does feel like, the closer that approaches, the more Kail gets a little bit anxious, right? And she starts talking about the kids not really like going to their dads and this and that. I gotta be honest with you guys though. I have a hard time believing that, I don't know. Maybe it might be a bias of mine. Let me ask you guys, do you think it's really likely that the kids, for example, Isaac, to me, we already know that Isaac, like 4 kids ago, has been sick of Kail and all these random new kids and baby daddy she brings into the house, right? She told Kail to stop popping out these new kids and everything, right? And I agree, it's awesome. The growth is good. I just wish she would own it a little bit more. So he's been tired of that for a while. So But then Joe's house is very stable. He's been with the same woman for like, I don't know, 13, 14, 15 years at this point. He has a little sister there. Like, it sounds like more stable, more calm. So I am quite surprised that she's implying that he prefers her home more than Joe's. And then there is Lincoln, like, you know, again, I don't know. Like, do you guys think that truly all of these kids prefer her home to the dad's homes? Like, for example, I could believe it with Chris's kids, because no offense, Chris, I don't know what he's got going on in his house, but I believe that he's probably more unstable than Kail. But the other situations, I'm not so sure, to be honest with you. I'm really, really not. Just Snap says Kail could have a K-pop band with them kids. It's giving Mickey Mouse. And listen, you know what? Speaking of Kail and the kids and the publicity and all this stuff, she was talking about this like maybe 2 years ago about how she DM'd Kris Jenner on Instagram, like, oh, hey, Kris Jenner, I want to pick your brain about not monetizing my kids, but like managing my kids and like making them money or something like that. And Kris Jenner never opened that message or responded. So just know she is looking for a way to hustle off these kids. That's why she monetized her kid coming out, right? Callie says, is Kail still with that Isaac guy? Yep, she's still with Black Isaac. That's why the original Isaac now has to go by Elliot. Or I'm sorry, now he decided on his own, coincidentally, to go by Elliot. And now all of a sudden, yeah, it sounds like more than enough, Jamie. She says it doesn't matter how a kid comes into the world, they're going to have questions. And exactly, that's what I think so too, you know. So I think, you know, even if she went down the sperm donor route, that would have had its own set of complications, questions, all that stuff, curiosity and everything like that. Oh my God, Woody, ça donne envie de regarder l'épisode. Now I want to see this episode. Now, let's see. I actually have some of you guys' comments bookmarked. So what I want to do is go ahead and check these out. Okay, you guys. East Awesome says introspection is a good thing. Kail is more thoughtful than Brittany from the Valley, Portia Williams, and Brittany Bateman from Salt Lake City. East Awesome is a Kail. Really, I'm staying on business. Listen, one thing I love about you, East, is when you're a fan of somebody, you don't play about them. I know you're still over there protesting outside of the courthouse and the jail for Wendy to be freed. And I love that. And you know what? That's the thing. You know, they might miss the kids when they're at the dad and all this stuff. I don't know. So let me go ahead. Don't kill me. Let me go ahead and see some of you guys' comments. Venetia, I forgot about the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. That's so cool that that's still on. I love that. Thanks for keeping me on with the Macy's Thanksgiving Parade. I'm so honored. I know how big that is over there in America. When he says Lincoln was planned, but after Lex and Creed, she couldn't figure out birth control or at least family planning if unable to take birth control. Exactly. You know, the stuff is preventable. You don't just sneeze and get pregnant. Okay. Now, you know what? Listen, y'all, I'm hungry. Let me go back and see some of the stuff that you guys are saying that you're eating. Okay. And yes, tea. That is one of my favorite snacks ever. Greek yogurt, guava puree, like jelly or whatever. So good together. Angelica says, nice to see you, Angelica. I'm Hispanic and we don't do the traditional, which I want to try all the traditional dishes. You should. It's so good. We typically do tamales or snow crab and lobster tails. That sounds so good. That sounds so freaking good. You know what's so crazy? I have eaten at so many Hispanic, Latin restaurants and whatnot. And I've never had tamales. I've had empanadas. I've had everything else, but never tamales. I don't know why. It's so crazy. And I'm dying to finally eat them. And of course, Acacia is on her list. And one thing about Acacia is she's going to go on that damn hike. I love that. Like a hike with a turkey in the oven sounds like an absolute Thanksgiving dream. Love that for you. Princess says turkey is done. Ham is currently in the oven. Oh, I already read this one. And it sounds so good. You have a full-blown feast. And it's so nice to see you, by the way. Jaleesa, you're part of the playback posse. And you know, we'll get into that. Ireland says, happy Thanksgiving. Nice to see you, Boo. I'm so glad you're finally able to make it to a live show. You guys, again, you know what? This is very, very vulnerable of Kail. So I'm happy that it's something that she's talking about on her show. Truly. And by the way, East Awesome's wondering if anybody's watched the new Todd Chrisley show. Is that the one where they were like profiling the family and then he got out of jail and everything like that? It was pretty good. I hope the link is still in my description box for Philo. I have Philo. I think you could still sign up for a free account if you're based in America to watch the Todd Chrisley show. You can watch the Braxtons, you can watch the Wendy Williams documentaries and whatnot. Everything, you know, pretty much all reality TV, 90 Day Fiance is on there, all that stuff. So yeah, definitely feel free to go ahead and binge it. Now, you guys, we do have another story I wanted to get into. Actually, I wanted to get into the Kelly Dodd story because Kelly Dodd is a psycho. I've never liked this woman. Listen, maybe she had like half a good season, like her first season, she was kind of funny. But she seems like somebody who's dangerously psychotic. Like truly, in my personal opinion, she is off her freaking rocker. And the voice memo that her daughter Jolie just leaked that she sent to her absolutely confirms it to me. If nothing else confirms to you that this woman is insane, bat-ish crazy, just take a listen to this memo that she sent to her daughter, that her daughter is now playing on social media.
Jolie blocked me from everything. So I want you to forward this message to her. Okay, you forward this message to her. You just opened up Pandora's box, Jolie. I have recordings of you screaming at your dad because he hasn't taken you on vacation. Screaming that he didn't buy you a car. Do you remember those recordings that I saved? I have those, and I'm going to publicly put them out there. Do you understand? For you to do this to me after I bought you a car, paid for your college, paid for your health insurance, took you to the doctors, I bought you all your clothes, housed you, did all that. Meanwhile, your dad was banging some fucking loser and put those 3 kids first before you. I have all of those, okay? So what you just did right now, you're going to look like a fool. You dumb little girl. You're stupid, okay? For even thinking that you're gonna win. I have Cameron Talley as my criminal defense attorney, and he is laughing at you. You're a joke, and so is your dad. And for you to even take his side, okay, after what he has done to you since 7th grade is absolutely crazy. I'm sorry that you have mental illness. You are nuts.
Wow. Can you imagine that? Like, she talking to her daughter is telling her she's stupid. She's going to destroy her in the court of public opinion. She's a loser. Her dad put like his stepkids before, like all this stuff. Like, she trashed her child so badly. She almost makes Janelle Evans look like an angel in those terrible text messages that she sent to her son. They were terrible. But this to me is even worse. This is absolutely terrible for her to say, you were a dumb, stupid little girl. I've got a criminal defense attorney who's laughing at you. Your dad doesn't love you. All this stuff. That is truly vile. I don't understand how this woman even has fans. She has been showing us consistently for years, pretty much ever since we met her on the Real Housewives of Orange County, that she is absolute trash. You know, that she's a terrible person, terrible morals, terrible ethics. And like East Awesome says, she's estranged from all the members of her family at this point, right? She's estranged from her mother. She's estranged from her brother. She's estranged from her ex-husband. She's now estranged from her daughter. If you can't get along with anybody in your family, I don't know. I kind of wonder if maybe you're the problem. You know, like I'm shocked. I remember hearing some stories over the course of several years about the way that she was allegedly treating her mother. I believe it was her brother who had accused her of like pushing her mother, like getting physical with her and all and whatnot. And I'm not exactly sure why it is that she and Jolie are currently on the outs. It feels as though Kelly Dodd thinks that Jolie took the side of her ex-husband and Jolie's father, Michael, over her own side. But is that enough of a motive for you to go and send this harassing voice note message to your daughter, trashing her, calling her stupid, calling her a loser, calling her an idiot, saying everybody is laughing at her and that you're going to destroy her in public and you got all these receipts on her and you're going to make her look like terrible? Like, I personally do not think so. This is just really, really, really toxic. This, in my opinion, is incredibly narcissistic and it's borderline scary. Like, I can't imagine receiving a message like that. And one thing that's worth clarifying is that she couldn't even send this message directly to Jolie. I think that Jolie has her blocked. And so in the beginning of the message that she was sending, she said, get this to Jolie, get this to Jolie. So she had an intermediary get it to her daughter because her daughter has her blocked. Absolutely insane, and I agree, Abby, when she's bragging, oh, I fed you, I housed you, you chose to have her, so you were obligated to do those things for her, right? So to be bragging about doing the bare minimum of your responsibilities as a parent, mind-blowing. And I think, typically the people who have to brag about those sorts of things, they don't, their parenting isn't much to write home about. All right. Absolute insane. It's giving Mel Gibson. It's giving Alec Baldwin calling his daughter a little pig at 13 years old and whatnot. Like, so many unhinged parents out there. So you know what? Like, shout out to those of you who might be estranged from your families, or your parents during these holidays as well, right? Because of course, if people talk about Thanksgiving and whatnot, and just the family of it all, like, there are people who are not able to celebrate this holiday because they have toxic family members like that, right? Milen says she wants her daughter to be hateful like her. Oh, is that it? Like, she's mad because Kelly's a hardcore conservative, so she pissed off that her daughter came out as a liberal, came out, like she's coming out of the closet or something. That's crazy, right? Exactly. The level of vitriol and just hatred and venom and everything is just so disturbing to hear. And her daughter is so young. What is she, like 20 years old or something like that? Like, insane. Today she says, why is she listing all the things that she's required to do? You chose to have a child. Exactly. That's what I can't stand about some parents, like they have these kids, they do the bare minimum, right? I clothed you, I fed you, I housed you. And then they turn around expecting all these things from you and throwing it in your face that they did all these things, like they were, forced to have a child or something. Havana says her mother acts like she's owed something for doing what the hell she's supposed to do as a parent. Shaking my head, period. It's ridiculous, and I think that this goes to show, it just goes to show that she ain't ish. She ain't ish. And listen, as a day one Kelly hater, I feel very much vindicated. Tusna says, you're a mother bragging about healthcare, right? I took you to well, you're supposed to. Girl, you could have gotten arrested if you did it. Good morning, Gail. Good morning, Jenna. Happy Thanksgiving to you guys as well. Absolutely insane. Let me get into some more of you guys' comments. Oh, Gwen, are you serious? I'm so sorry. Nobody deserves that. Nobody at all. That is so sad. I'm sorry, Gwen. Oh my goodness. I hope you blocked her too, just like Julie blocked this one. Tamara says, I don't know who this Kelly person is, but listening to this, I'm not surprised she's estranged from her entire family. Exactly. And this is how she speaks to everybody and about everybody. Oh, she is just such a hateful, venomous, vile creature. She really is. B Chocolate says, Kelly's brother has done several on-camera interviews talking about how she needs mental health intervention. She really does. And I think her husband, Loki, does too. They're both off their rockers. And, together, I think that they've only gotten worse together. They feed off of the toxic side of each other. Dime Piece, Kelly is from the Real Housewives of Orange County. So at first, she really popped off when she first joined that show, right? Hang on, let me put up a picture of her. But then she very quickly showed that she just was a really, really, really terrible, mean, cruel, vicious, hateful person. So she definitely lost that fandom. I saw a comment from East Awesome that I wanted to get into because, I did hear about that special as well. So thanks for bringing it up. Where is it? Where is it? Here it is. Oprah is doing a special exposing people that go no contact. Mothers like Kelly are why people go no contact. Some family members are exhausting. Some people aren't worthy and don't deserve access. And I agree. And I feel like that's probably the same case for people like Leah, Jace, etc. We've seen their mothers on the show. We see how exhausting, we see how toxic they are and whatnot. So now watching their kids go no contact with them, like, it's obvious, like anybody would go no contact, right? With that sort of a person. Like, it's terrible that they've even had to endure this kind of treatment at all. I really, really hate that it happens to people. And it seems to be so common. Like, you hear so much about people being estranged from their family members. So it sucks that there's so many people who treat their children, right, so terribly. Good morning. I dream big. Happy Thanksgiving, boo. Lord have mercy. Now, you guys, Oh Lord, Lord, Lord. I'm seeing all you guys' comments. It's so sad that so many people can relate to this. I'm sorry, Terry. I'm trying to put up your comment. Is it up? No. It is so, so sad. You know, you hear about this all the time, but you know what? It takes a lot of bravery, courage, all that stuff to finally say enough is enough when you've been taught for so long that you have to put up with anything just because they're your parents or family members in general, right? So sad. So, so sad. Now, you guys, I think we're off to our final story of the day. I wanted to get into Gypsy Rose. Y'all know Gypsy Rose, right? Everybody knows Gypsy Rose. So Gypsy Rose is now explaining why it is that she's currently wearing wigs. So when we watched her on her show, Life After Lockup, I believe it was called, she had her beautiful, luscious, chestnut brown locks and whatnot. But lately, she has been oscillating between, a pixie cut and different wigs and whatnot, sometimes a bob and everything. And so now she's explaining why exactly it is that she is changing her hair so often for all the people who have been asking her incessantly. And I got to be honest, I really did think that she already talked about this in the past. So I was quite surprised to see this pop up on my timeline. Mind you, I actually don't think she needs a wig because I really like her hair like that. I think she looks absolutely adorable with it. So this is a picture that she posted in response to somebody asking why she wears wigs. And if she has real hair. And so she shared this selfie saying, "This is my real natural hair. I had to cut it really short because nearly 2 years of bleaching completely fried it. I don't feel confident with short hair. So I normally wear a high quality wig while my real hair grows back healthy. I'm giving my hair a fresh start so it can grow long again." So you know what? Good for her. Listen, you got to do what you got to do in your hair growth journey. I totally get it. I think I already told you guys, I had to cut my hair into a bob because it was so damaged. So I'm on my hair growth journey. So hence the braids. And I'm on minoxidil as well to get some density because my little 3 strands are driving me nuts. I need a head full of hair ASAP. You know what I mean? So I totally get it. And good for her being so open about that. I think a lot of people can relate to just not really feeling where they're at with their hair and whatnot, and trying to find different ways to style themselves and to style their hair that makes them feel good, right, when they walk out the door. So kudos to Gypsy Rose for opening up about that and, taking care of her hair under those wigs, I guess, right? Oh, Lord have mercy. All right. Let's see. Bum, ba-dum, bum, bum. Two Snap says Two Snap says he can't stand Gypsy and that she's a weirdo. Boom, boom, boom. Listen, a lot of people feel that way. You are not alone, boo. East Austin says, "What's the Gypsy Rose backstory?" Some of us really. She deleted her mother because her mother apparently, her mother wasn't diagnosed formally with Munchausen's by proxy. However, Gypsy says that her mother had everybody around her convinced that she was sick when she wasn't sick, and so her mom needlessly had her teeth extracted, her going through several surgeries. She was submitting Gypsy as a Make-A-Wish Foundation kid to go and do all of these activities and whatnot, to profit off of all the beautiful, generous, wonderful things that Make-A-Wish kids are afforded and whatnot, just all sorts of stuff. So she also says that her mother forced her to stay in a wheelchair, even though she could walk, all sorts of different things. And there are a lot of people who believe that Gypsy Rose is lying and that she was indeed very sick and that she should have been in that wheelchair and that she should have had those teeth pulled and that she should have had those surgeries. So she is a very, very controversial figure. And you know what? You know how East Awesome, you were saying that you wanted to watch the Todd Chrisley stuff and binge it? Listen, that too is on Philo. So on Philo, you'll find the Gypsy Rose. You can find the reality show. She only has 2 seasons. It was pretty good to watch her coming out of prison and seeing what she's like. But if you want to really dig in to how she even wound up there and whatnot and how she deleted her mom, over on Philo as well, they do have the documentaries about Gypsy Rose that you can go ahead and binge to get a little bit more intel on who exactly she is and why she's so controversial. Yeah, exactly. I really like a short, and I say that I would rock it for myself, but that's the thing. Sometimes you love it on certain people. I think this makes her look really, really cute. And so it's just fascinating that she doesn't personally like it for herself, but she looks really good. She does. Oh my God, B, this is so sweet. Such a sweet, 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 sweet message. I'm so happy that you have such beautiful parents and that they're able to celebrate 50 years of marriage, which is a huge accomplishment in beautiful Hawaii. Love that. Marion. So Marianne is one of the people who does not like Gypsy Rose. She says this pic of Gyp-ish is filtered to look like a 12-year-old. She does not look like this. Damn. Oh my God. I was not expecting that. Damn. Mia Farrow took one for the team back in the 6th. Ramster, hi, you're here, Boo. I almost wish you a happy Thanksgiving. Well, happy Thanksgiving in spirit anyway, even though I know you're not American. Oh, medical, exactly. So she says that she was a victim of medical abuse. She felt like there was no way out and that she had to delete her mom. And so I do think that there was a certain level of the court believing her and her claims. And that's why she, eventually wound up getting a sentence that was not life. And because she wasn't the person who actually deleted her mom, she got into like an online relationship with somebody who I believe is autistic or something like that. And she had him delete her mom for her. And that person is stuck in prison for life. And so a lot of people do not like that either. Oh, Kelly, you're on the journey too. It's hard. It's hard. Listen, I'm sending you emotional support. I have to take out my braids. Like I'm going to take it out, not this weekend, but the weekend after that. And I'm excited to see like the growth and whatnot. I think I'll chill for a bit before putting on more braids. And then after I'll chill and get a straightening to see where I'm at in my journey. So I feel you. You know what else is really good? Like Ayurvedic, like hair masks and whatnot, and just, anything you can find. And it really is. It's so good. So yeah, feel free to check all that stuff out on her. She's very, very, very interesting. Mocha says, I'm sorry. Good morning, Mocha. Mocha chocolate. Hey. Happy Thanksgiving. Nanya says, Gypsy has I haven't seen you in a while, boo. Hey, happy Thanksgiving. Gypsy has a chromosome deletion. She was officially diagnosed in 2011. And yes, and that's something that she's quite open about. And she did say that if she were to have more kids in the future with her boyfriend, Ken, she would like to have them through IVF so that she could do some genetic screening to make sure that they don't have the same genetic condition that she has. B says it's horrible what happened to her as a child. I would totally sympathize if she had done it herself. But the fact that she involved an innocent guy that is still in prison makes her a villain. And so, yeah, a lot of people feel this way. But then I've seen some people who say that this guy, like, and listen, I have to go back and rewatch because I don't remember this part, but some people said that the guy was like so excited and he was speaking like it's something that he always wanted to do and whatnot. So I don't know, to be honest with you guys. But yeah. Hey, Elizabeth. Wow, I can't believe you're watching from 3 a.m. in Australia. Nice to see you, Bill. Thanks for being here. They also have hair growth. Yeah, I've heard about this type of stuff. Listen, right now I'm on the Minox. And I'm excited to see the results when I take down my hair in 2 weeks. But I did look at this stuff and I thought that it would be interesting. I also am hearing about red light therapy or something like that. I'm trying everything I can this time. I said, listen, this is my last big try, so I'm really, I'm knocking on wood that it works. Totally wish I had better hair, but I might get a hair. Oh, I heard they're so good. I have clip-ins, I love my clip-ins from time to time. I do. You think so? You think? Oh, not the really? Like the Nene Leakes cut? Oh, Roddy says it's creepy that she is making herself look like her mom made her look. I don't understand her reasoning, but that's really Hang on, let me put up this picture again. Listen, one thing about Gypsy Rose that I'll admit, even though I'm not a lover or a hater of Gypsy Rose, I'm still on my journey to fully understanding her. But I can admit, as a Gypsy Rose neutralist, that she is a little bit strange. She is a little bit strange. And I do think that she can be a little bit manipulative as well. We saw that in the final episodes of her season 1 of her show, when she wanted to leave her husband, Ryan, to go for Ken. She started really trying to paint it as if Ryan was this terrible person when he was just a clingy man who noticed that his wife had a wandering eye. right? By the way, Celine, thanks for becoming a channel member. Listen, you know, that's actually what I have to do after I film this video. I had to go and film another channel member video for you guys. So hopefully you get to enjoy that. So essentially I have like my book club with my channel members where we read like, you know, books written by the Teen Mom Stars or about the Teen Mom Stars. And so right now we're currently reading the Ashley's Reality Roundup book, where she gives a lot of like exclusive info about the Teen Mom Stars and behind the scenes stuff about them. So for example, she had interviewed Farrah Abraham's ex-boyfriend. I think his name was Daniel. Do you remember when Farrah went on this like date with this guy that she, you know, had been dating for like a month or two, and she meets his like stepmom who's like in her 40s, and the stepmom's talking about how she'd want to have like kids, and Farrah's like, really, at your age? Like, I think that ship has sailed. You're going to be a lone bird. Like that, and all of her jaws were like that guy. So there's some, you know, intel from him. Her former neighbor was talking about how like she used to always dump Sophia off on her and just disappear for like the day and sometimes multiple days. Another neighbor was talking about how Sophia, she allegedly forgot or left Sophia in a hot car with the windows up. And it's not that she forgot, she just, you know, had other things to do upstairs or something like that. Like there's a lot of tea in that book. So I'm going to continue reading that for you guys. And Jaleesa, Puerto Rican Thanksgiving and soul food. That sounds so damn good. Listen, I would love to go to Puerto Rico one day. It sounds absolutely beautiful. It really, really does. I hope you have a great time celebrating, boo. Abby says Thanksgiving tamales are just the best. Tamales are by far my favorite. Listen, I have to try this. I have to find out where I can eat these. You have to try them. If you come to America, look for them on the corners, or better, a parking lot. All right, Bill. Listen, I'll keep my eyes peeled for these tamales. You know what? I've been thinking about making a ceviche for a while. Maybe that's what I'll make. Well, no, I already said I'm having a quiche Lorraine, but I think eventually, maybe over the weekend, I'll make a ceviche. I know that's what is it? Is that Peruvian? Yeah, I think it's Peruvian, but like, I love me some Latin food, y'all. I love it so much. And thanks again for the super chat, LaRonda. Hey, wait a minute. I don't know what happened to my Thanksgiving festive thing. I gotta say, you guys, thanks so much for joining me here, like on your Thanksgiving. I know it's the holidays and whatnot, and I think it's so cool that despite the holidays, y'all have been able to join me here for the day. So thanks so much for being here. And thanks so much for all the good vibes and energy and stuff that you guys sent my way to help me get through like the pain I was going through at the top of this episode. I really appreciate that as well. Again, I'm about to shoot a video for my channel members. We're going to continue reading the behind the scenes scoop on the Teen Mom Stars. So feel free to sign up for that if you guys want to read along with me. Again, enjoy your Thanksgiving, enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll see you again tomorrow at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time to talk more about the day's hottest stories. Bye, guys. Take good care of yourselves.